Well, hello there. Javier, hello, sir. 39 degrees. It's 18 here. You're double my temperature. Stephen, hello, sir. Oh, almost didn't even make it tonight. Tonight's sponsor is Ammo Supply Warehouse, and I was at a guest speaker. I made a guest appearance, I should say, at an invite-only event that Ammo Supply Warehouse was running here in Bloomsburg. If you didn't know about it, well, I guess you weren't cool enough. And just got back in time to come up here and flip some lights on and get ready for shit. Colt, hello, sir. Adam, hello, sir. 12 degrees, Colt. You could turn on the fucking heat. That's an idea. Crystal, hello, dear. My favorite moderator. Doing a deal with Melancia Becca, private event. And just to remind you, there's a coupon code TREMIS, saves you $10 off an order of $100 or more. And Jason Hoyt, more active. I did the bug out videos. Be more intentional about supporting. Well, thank you, sir. Been a while since I've done any bug out videos. Really not a lot of new stuff since the last bug out video I did was about getting a new bug out bag. It's still the bag I'm using. And but the very last bug the fuck out is coming up in April. Bug the fuck out 20. Shinde, hello, sir. Let's see. What news do we got? New hats. They're cool. Got mine in. Got my unvaxxed shirt ready for SHOT Show. Got a couple new shirts for SHOT. I don't think there's anything. A bunch of holsters went out. Lots and lots of holsters went out. All of the individual Mark V's and Trempendics are gone. Instructor holsters, some have gone. Some are still here. Worked ourselves right out of hardware. Got a bunch of lasering to do tomorrow, and then waiting on screws and what are they called? Pass through posts, like the other side of the screw, and then a bunch of those can go out. Uncle Guns, hello, sir. So hopefully those will show up from Holstersmith shortly, and we can get the last amount before I leave for SHOT Show. A bunch of people have ordered mantises. The order has been put in. It has been received. I believe it is shipped. It'll probably show up after I leave for SHOT because it's the way the world works. Z-bolts are in. If you ordered a Z-bolt, it has shipped to you, unless you're Yan, who is waiting for a holster, but his Z-bolt head is sitting downstairs waiting for screws to get here, so the holster and Z-bolt head can all go out together to Yan. Awesome, Crystal. Yes, the what the fuck does Raven call that? It might just be a wedge. I don't know. Some people like it because it tips the top towards them. Some people like it because it just is soft. I like it because it's soft. A Mantis for Dummies video. I have a Blackbeard video out here. If you're talking about the X10, I'm not gonna, because I use my X10 very little. I use my Blackbeard a lot. And like you put the thing in and you press the trigger and the little laser beam shows up on the targets. There's 3 of those targets in this room, as well as 2 mannequins. Those are all my things I blackbeard. Jason Hedrick, hello, sir. I saw that you saw the picture of your instructor holster. It's pretty slick. However, the mag pouches are going to be a couple more days because mag pouches are the last thing on the list of stuff. I found that it's way easier to assemble those things in batches. Steven, his surprise Magpul made announcements. That's pretty typical for them. Like the week leading up, they'll like the day SHOT Show starts, there's already a web, like they usually have a dedicated web page to just like 15 new items. Those 15 new items will be at SHOT Show. There'll be 1 or 5 of them. And the rest you might not see until like they'll spread them out all year. Last year, like I don't know what the schedule was, but the safety came out in the fall, and that was released like a week before SHOT. Turtle, hello, sir. You too have a package on your way with a holster and a Z-bolt in it. Because I had to refund myself the shipping on the holster because there was no fucking mail for 3 days. And by the time the Tuesday's mail went out, your Z-bolt had showed up. So I took the holster and put it in a box with the Z-bolt, and then I had to ask for a refund on the shipping for the holster. And like they'll give me my $8 back or whatever sometime in a year from now. Rich, hello, sir. Good to see you here as well. I just talked to you on the telephone yesterday, I think it was. But speaking of Z-bolts being in and shipped out, I did see that the full power ACAL, that's their laser, what is it, multifunction laser aiming unit, laser aiming, whatever the fuck. Their laser illuminator. The full power one will be $1,650. The civilian power one will be $1,500. So we finally have some info on the full power one. Oh, Steven, glad you're digging the hoodie. I'm wearing the same hoodie today. It's just the OD one. And it's the old school one with the fucked up artwork that before Mike fixed it up for me. Yeah, I'm in my house wearing a hoodie. It's cold out, 18 degrees. Even the radiator over there is running. All right. Look at all my notes here. Shit went out. Mentioned all that. Good. So I think the first day of SHOT is Monday. And they have the supplier showcase, which is a bunch of real small companies that supply part suppliers to bigger companies. And they have they're on a separate floor and their own hall. That's Monday and Tuesday. But Monday is also range day. And we're going out to the range. Media gets some extra free shit. And it's funny because they give out like Walker's is there doing like Ear Pro, Eye Pro, giving it away and stuff. And it's always like while supplies last. And media goes out at like 8:30 in the morning. And people who are buyers, like coming from stores and stuff like that, they're not allowed to come till the afternoon. So media gets like all the, like we might drain the supply of the free stuff. So we're going to go to the range day, and I probably won't check the supplier showcase until Tuesday. So I got to make a point on Tuesday of getting to the supplier showcase because it isn't running the rest of the week. And I have friends up there that I want to see, things I want to look at. Scott Wexler, hello, sir. But I think on personal, gotta go see him. Pretty sure Z-Bolt's going to be priority. Like I definitely, that's going to be a priority. Super stoked on, been using the LEP lights, the LED handheld lights, been great. The ACAL coming out, like I need to go talk to those guys. I got a Z-Bolt on that rifle right there. And a Surefire. No, the Surefire is on that one, the Hollow Sun laser, and that one's got a CTF, Phantom Hill CTF on it. I don't know if you noticed the theme back there behind me, but those three rifles are the three that I use the most. The blue one obviously is a sim gun. The other two are live. But I don't know if you all noticed the theme, the 10.3 inch barrels, cans, CTR stocks, Magpul, SL grips. I'm kind of very settled on what I want in a rifle. And I want to do a fourth SBR. I think so. Because I want to get an ACAL. I'm going to put it on that rifle right there. And then I'm going to need a rifle to put new stuff to try on, right? So anyhow, speaking of SHOT Show, Huxworks flow cans. Very cool. Name is stupid. Huxworks with X's. Very Vin Diesel. But cans are pretty cool. Very cool. The flow through technology has been around since they were was it Ops Inc. Also not a great name, very bland, but better than Huxworks. But that technology is also being used by some other companies now. What the hell's that company? The one that SC Irregulars is working with. They also make the Cobalt Kinetics can. They're using flow through technology as well. They call it something different because it's a trademark name. Not patented technology, trademark name. But the Cobalt Kinetics can, that looks to be the bomb diggity. I can't wait till somebody buys one so I can play with it. Susquehanna Valley Firearms. Vic, if you're listening, make sure Josh buys one of those because I want to check it out. Mr. White, hello, sir. Thanks for stopping in. Things I've been have not been looking. Like I went through the SHOT Show exhibitors list and new products, and I've marked a bunch of things I want to go see. But I haven't really been like catching a lot of hype trains because I haven't been looking. Although every once in a while, like something pops up in front of me, and I saw that Hollow Sun has some new things out that may actually come to market, unlike the cool shit they brought out last year, which was the red dot optics with built-in thermal and built-in digital night vision. I think those are pretty neat. I don't know if they'll ever actually happen. The prototypes were cool to play with, but they have a new pistol light coming out. John, hello, sir. I don't know if it's any good. It's just interesting that they're coming out with one. Maybe something to give Streamlight a run for its money. And I say that because Streamlight is affordable, and I imagine the Hollow Sun will also be affordable. So they will be like a direct competitor, I would imagine. I know there's some other companies making pistol lights, and I just don't care. So far, it's like Streamlight, Surefire, and End of List. Anybody else that makes one, this is how I can tell you I know how popular it is. Now that I've dipped my toe into the holster world by owning a portion of a holster company, when you go buy a mold, or a training gun, like a blue gun. But I know there's a couple companies other than Rings, so they're not all blue guns. Like there's a, is it Mod Light makes a pistol light? There are no molds with a Mod Light. There are no blue guns with a Mod Light. Tells you how popular the Mod Light is. It's kind of like when guys talk about like a new gun coming out and or any gun, and I'm like, hey, how many companies make magazines for it? And when you're like Pro Mag and Factory, and I'm like, okay, so it's not very popular because if Magpul made a magazine for it, it ain't that popular. Adam, I did not mess with the Holosun pistol weapon mounted light because I've never seen one ever, even at SHOT Show. Mostly because at SHOT Show, I mean, maybe I saw it and I don't remember it because I was more enamored by the cool red dots. But I also saw now they have a rifle light, like I don't know if it's scout patterned. It's got two bolts. I looked at the picture and there's a tail cap with a remote switch. And I don't know if it takes a crane plug or it seems like it should take a crane plug. They have a bunch of lasers that take crane plugs. I know they're not using a Surefire plug because Surefire ain't down with that. I don't know if the rifle light's any good. I'm super stoked about the LEP lights from Z-Bolt, so I ain't super stoked about checking out the Holosun, but it's cool that they came out with one, I suppose. But what really impressed me with Holosun that I'm definitely going to put some of my own money into is they have an SCS sight, which is the red dots that don't have a battery. It's a solar and there's a capacitor in it that you charge the capacitor. So there's no removable battery. And they're super, super thin. Like they're so thin, you don't change the iron sights and you can still see the irons in the window. And they're all direct mount. Like they made one for an MOS. It doesn't use the plate. The bolt pattern mounts to where the MOS plate would mount. And they made it for like 5 or 6 guns. But this year, they're making it for the K footprint. So I'll be able to put one of those little skinny SCS sights on a macro. And I'm going to get one and try it out, assuming I can get like a small, like a 2 MOA dot with no circle. Like that's, at the end of the day, that's what I want. Like somewhere over on that shelf is a 6 MOA dot, no circle, but I don't want a 6 MOA dot. I want it to be little. Someone said, yeah, but it's bigger, so it's easier to find. I'm like, it's fucking glowing red. It's super easy to find. So that's the thing I'm interested in. I'm gonna pick one up. Because I thought that SCS line was really cool. I didn't own a gun to put it on. Well, actually, I have a Gen 5 MOS here, but I don't ever shoot it. So if I had got it, I still wouldn't have played with the sight. Like people can come up with a bunch of cool pistol red dots. If it doesn't fit a K footprint, like the RMS footprint, like I'll never know. Saw Aimpoint release some stuff. They brought out a flat dark earth and a sniper gray optic. I don't care about colors. Everything gets spray painted anyhow. And it's Cerakote. It's not even anodized. So whatever wears through my spray paint will also wear through the Cerakote and go down to raw aluminum. I'd rather you anodize it flat dark earth so that when the paint or Cerakote wears off, the color underneath isn't black or silver. But that's not what they did. So anyhow, and then they released a 3-power magnifier. Doesn't the Aimpoint already have like a couple different magnifiers? I don't get the idea of re-releasing something they already make. And then they released an acro for a shotgun. I don't know what's wrong with the original acro being on a shotgun, but apparently there's some reason why you don't do that. or why the other one would be better. Maybe, I don't know, because they did colors, and there's no better thing about the color, but that's what they hung their hat on. So a little disappointing from the aim point side. Magpul, Stephen mentioned it earlier, and he actually listed a question, which took me forever to find because I saw it at some point today, but like over in the post where I'm like, hey, post up questions here. It wasn't there. It wasn't even on the Tremas Dynamics page. So I stumbled on it again. It was over on the alumni page. But Magpul, like obviously we saw like a little over a week ago, the new stock, the dual tension stock. I got a better look at it, and it's the like the rubber butt pad part is wide like a SL stock, not skinny like a CTR. I dig the little angle on the bottom, but I don't dig the fat wide part. So I don't care. I'll stick with CTRs. Again, there's a theme back there. The 320 mag was interesting. I mean, I don't even own a 320, nor do I intend to get a 320. And I don't know how the Magpul mag compares to the Sig mag. Hopefully it's cheaper because Sig mags tend to be a little on the expensive side. But what was interesting was they are a company that has mastered plastic, and they still made metal magazines for guns before Glock did. So that I chuckle at that. Iroquois foreskin, hello, sir. So it's cool that they're making metal mags. Maybe they'll make macro mags. That'd be cool. I don't have any problem with the Sig macro mags, other than maybe if these were less expensive. I see they're using like a bright, shiny stainless steel. And I don't know if they're using like 300 or 400 series stainless, but maybe it won't rust as fast as the Sig mags. That will, some people will love that. I don't much care. Who knows what all they're kind of, obviously we know why they did 320 mags first, because they want to sell some to the government, and the government's running whatever the M17 18s. And then the other magazine, the T mag, which was Steven's question, one of my initial impressions on the T mag. So I remember seeing clear P mags 2009 probably, back when they were trying to do a clear polymer that was strong, and didn't happen. The interesting parts with it were, back then with the clear, was the more we learned about plastics. And I actually talked to a lady who had some sort of college degree in polymer engineering or something like that. And she basically said, yeah, for the most part, black plastic's the strongest, because anytime you want to make make plastic with a color, you have to remove important structural stuff at the molecular level to make room for the colors at the molecular level. She said, so, like when we were talking magazine, she said, I like the green one. She said, well, the green one isn't as strong as the black one, and the tan one isn't as strong as the black one. The gray one isn't as strong as the black one. The foliage green isn't as strong as the black one, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And clear usually is a shit show. And then they abandoned the clear, and then later they abandoned all the colors. But they did bring back MCT, which is close enough to their flat dark earth, because that's what SOCOM spec for buying anything had to be in a certain range of browns. But still no word on the clear. And then we get this T-Mag, which is translucent, not transparent. And so it's kind of like a smoky color, and the smoke shade is olive drab. So I dig that. Though I'm going to get some. And the reason is they're shaped like the E-Mag, which I have an E-Mag in my hand right here. And the E-Mag was the European magazine. to fit magwells other than just in ARs that metal AR magazines would fit in, and PMags did not like. They were a little tighter, so they came out with the EMag for them. And isn't anything great about the EMag? It's just slick-sided. And you guys probably can't see this, but this one has the letters AP on it for armor piercing. So this mag, it feels different to put in a mag of AP ammo. But this is based off, the EMag is a Gen 2. It's like the M2 magazine. So the T-Mag is like getting an E-Mag in Gen 3. So you get the improved geometry of the M3 magazines. You get the skinny M3 base plate in an E-Mag. So it'll feel different. It'll also look different because it'll be clear. Probably I'll spray paint it. I'll leave like a spot for a window. Might be a bigger window, but I'll probably still just have a spot and the rest will be camo. That's my guess because that's how I am with spray paint. I actually sugar cookied this on the back so that it had some extra difference. I also run a different magazine full of tracers. The tracer magazine is foliage green, the only foliage green magazine I have, and I have a Ranger plate on it so that it feels different, looks different. And this is my only digital camo magazine, and it feels different. So that was the point behind the AP and the tracers being in different mags. So before I burned through them, I realized that it was the right magazine. But the T-Mag will give me a Gen 3 magazine with the same looks different, feels different. Guys, I don't know why it's automatically spamming. Oh, Defiant Munitions. It did it 3 times. So Adam asked, what's the purpose of the mag full of tracers? If I need to tell somebody else, this is where we're going to be shooting when I initiate contact. It is just a way for me to, like, if we were going to ambush someone, like if the Russians invaded and we were in Calumet, Colorado, Wolverines. When I lit up the target, everybody would be like, "Oh, the red lines. That's where the bad guys are at." So it is can be used for pointing. So Steven runs his AP mags are aluminum. See, the only problem is now your armor piercing ammo is in shit mags. And I don't care if it's a fucking Duramag or C Products. They had a stainless magazine that actually ran okay. Or like Checkmate, OK Industries, whatever. Like they're just not, they're meh. Well, Adam, I don't know if it's a better pointer than a Viz laser, but if you fire up a Viz laser ahead of time, like you should already be shooting, and I don't own a rifle with a visible laser. Both of the rifles behind me that have lasers only have IR. Yeah, but I'll tell you straight up, a D&H magazine is not as good as a 2007 Gen 1 PMag. Just the folks that can lay claim to where we can hang with PMag is Lancer. That's the ticket. And I don't think they're better. But they at least can compete. So yeah, that was the cool thing that I saw from Mag. Well, I expect we're going to see some more stuff coming up as well. Probably a bunch of DACA stuff because they always got new DACA pouches and DACA cases coming out. In fact, didn't they just release like a double pistol case like in December? That might count as a SHOT Show buildup. I don't know. I can't keep track of the fucking DACA pouches. whenever I have a use for one, that's when I get online and look at them, and I'm like, I need one about this big. So then I'm like, that's like 12 inches by like 6 inches. And then I Google and go, what color do I want? And I add to cart. Dick brings up a valid point. Viz laser is much more difficult to find than a line of tracers. I mean, if you got a bunch of shit in the air, Viz laser is easy to find, but you can't always count on that. Iroquois Foreskin says they released a DACA video about a half hour ago. Didn't even notice. I was at the private ammo supply warehouse event. The full rifle case is not new. They released that last year at SHOT Show. They showed us last year at SHOT Show. I don't know when they actually started selling them. But Mike Fiore has a full rifle case from them, I think. And he got it in before we taught in Florida in the summer. Or not summer, but it was hot. It was like Pennsylvania summer, so it was like their fall because he flew down there with it. There's a ton of night vision companies at SHOT Show. I've not seen anything they're releasing, in particular, like stuff. iRay, I'm going to stop by their booth because their stuff seems to be cost much less than everything else. So I'm just curious to talk to them and poke around a little bit. But there's a ton more night vision vendors than I have seen before. So maybe there'll be something cool to check out there. But I haven't heard any like, oh my God, there's the newest, latest, lightest, weighs nothing or something. I haven't heard anything so far. I actually like the Magpul case, Stephen. I thought it was pretty slick, but I have a Pelican case here that's in great shape, and I fly so infrequently with a rifle that Pelican case will last beyond my generation. Like my son will use it because I might have 3 rifle flights left in me before I'm dead. Most of the time that I fly, I don't take a rifle because I only take a rifle if I'm flying to teach a rifle class, and if I'm teaching, I'm usually driving. So I go into SHOT Show, I'm not taking a rifle because I don't want to leave a rifle in a hotel room or an Airbnb while I'm off at SHOT Show. And if the world collapses while I'm in Las Vegas, I don't have people with rifles in Las Vegas to get one, so I don't bother taking it with me. And if I'm not flying, I don't take a Pelican. I don't take a hard case for a rifle. I did see that Laser Ammo, what a terrible name for a company, although very descriptive. They make laser cartridges. They're releasing a magazine that resets your trigger and goes along with a laser cartridge. Like you put the laser cartridge in the chamber, and you put this magazine in the gun, and when you press the trigger, you get the laser, and then something in the magazine resets the trigger. Interestingly, it doesn't like reset the striker. I believe, like the thing sticking out of the magazine, the trigger bar hits, and that's how it moves the trigger bar, which is fine. And I think the picture shows it for like a Glock 17, 19. But I want to say I read that they were doing Glock 48 and 365 mags next. So that would be pretty cool because I like having the Blackbeard-ish type ability in a pistol. There's a company called Blue Ops that has been teasing it for like 2 years now for a Glock 19 version of it. but I haven't, like, it's always been on like pre-order now, and you'll get it when it releases. They're going to be at SHOT too, but I was like, well, if yours ain't released and the laser ammo companies is released, whoever's come out with a SIG one first, I'll buy it, unless somebody else comes out with something I'd rather have. Not that I have any inside information on products that companies may be making that I have agreed to not discuss. But if I had, maybe I get that instead. What else is coming out? Yeah, I was just looking at stuff today, and I added a couple companies to my want to stop by and look at them list, but nothing super like product grabbed my attention. Midwest is coming out with some lever gun stuff. That's all I can say about that because I've seen it on their post. Like they made a post of like lever gun shit at SHOT. I think they're actually going to release it before SHOT. Like we're going to talk about it before SHOT. Unlike last year when they did the AK Alpha stuff, they were going to release it like 2 days before SHOT. Like we're talking about it, and they took out an ad in the booklet that they send out to everyone that's coming to SHOT. Well, I assume it's everyone. It's all the attendees and probably all the other exhibitors. They certainly sent it to media. And I got the book, and they had this ad on the back cover, like on the outside of the book. Because the back cover had like half the page was like for the address, and the other half was this Midwest ad showing all the AK shit. And I snapped a picture and sent it to them. I said, I thought this was a secret. And they're like, where the fuck did you see that? I said, it's on the SHOT booklet. And they're like, we didn't know it was coming out this early. So, well, we might want to like start telling people, because my postman saw it, and so did every postman that delivers mail from SHOT Show. So maybe there'll be some cool shit like that, but for lever guns. But this year they didn't take out an ad ahead of time. But we'll certainly stop there. Also, I think it's Thursday every year. Midwest usually gets a bartender and a keg. And unlike last year, where I was going a year with no booze, this year, I'm done with that. So maybe I'll get to go enjoy SHOT Show a little more than normal. I'm leaving this weekend, so if there are things that people want to see somewhere on the interwebs, or if you know me, you can just shoot me a text or whatever. Things you want to see, things you want pictures of. You got a couple days left to give me the heads up that you're interested in stuff. And I'm going to do a best 5 video. And I liked that video last year. I'm saying the video was great, but what was awesome is instead of like bringing microphones or lavalier mics, lapel mics, and talking, interviewing people, I just did some like footage of the products I liked, and then went back later, edited it together, and did a voiceover, and boom, done. Like video made. Way easier on me. The only thing I got to do better next time is like when I take the shots, I was going through the footage going, the fuck am I looking at? What is this called? So I might this time like narrate while I'm filming for my own use, so that I can listen to it while I'm editing and go, oh, it's called the Wiggly Majig 7000. I kept calling it the Whackmaster 7000. But yeah, if you're looking for stuff, now is the time to let me know. I too would like to know what's up with PSA's Kami line of ammo, and I already have Oh, excuse me. PSA on my list of folks to go talk to. I am going to make a note, actually right now in Google Keep, of go PSA commie ammo, so that I can remember what I have to ask. Yeah, I'd be totally down for them to make some fucking 5.45. That'd be fantastic. I mean, it'd be cool if Defiant Munitions made some 5.45. Pete, if you're listening to this, and I'm going to get a chance to talk to Pete Pye at SHOT Show, because Pete's coming to SHOT Show. Defiant does not have a booth, but Pete is coming, and I will certainly be linking up with him at some point to hang out a little bit with him. We actually met at a show, so. Oh, Fuller's Line of Rails. I did see that. There we go. PSA commie ammo. Make this whole thing a shot. And Fuller K rails. Yes, where's the 5.45 TCX? I agree. I'm going to add that over here. Even though I can just shoot Pete a text now and ask him. He'd probably call me. We have a live chat. Actually, I should have him on a live chat. I was going to have a live chat next week at SHOT Show. Well, not in SHOT Show, but in Las Vegas. But to do it at 8:05, Las Vegas time would be 5:05. And Mike got us reservations for Fogo de Chao at 5:30 on Wednesday. So I either have to skip Fogo de Chao or I have to skip the live chat. So we'll see. I ain't doing a live chat from fucking Fogo de Chao. All right, I did get some questions. Stevens, we already answered. I have 3 other questions. First, why so dynamic? Question mark. You always talk about movement like it's the holy grail. Why is it important to you, more important to you than other instructors? I don't know if it's more important to me than other instructors. But I will say this. If your instructor doesn't shoot predominantly on the move, like if that isn't the bulk of what he's doing, certainly with a pistol, probably with a rifle, depending on the use of the rifle. You know, if you're doing intermediate distance shit, you're not going to be shooting on the move. But if he's not doing a lot of that, it's because he's not good at it. If he gives you any reason, like verbalizes a reason why it's not important, it's because he can't do it. It's just like dudes that can't shoot left-handed. They'll invent reasons to not do it so that they don't have to admit their flaws. Then, next question. If you just had 1 hour to train, that's in quotes, someone with basically no experience, what would you focus on? Would you choose to do pistol or rifle or both? Oh, so it would depend. Do we have a pistol or do we have a rifle or do we have both? Like, you know, if it was like I have a pistol and I have an hour before I have to go somewhere where I'm concerned for my safety and I can't avoid going there for whatever reason. Well, then we're going to do it with pistol. If you can do it, if you're going to sit on top of the Korean restaurant during the LA riots and protect the fort, then in your hour, I'm going to train you with a rifle. And like, can we live fire or are we training like at your house? So before we leave to go into this dangerous place, because if we can live fire and we have unlimited ammo, we can do a lot in an hour. But if we only have to, like, what are, there isn't enough details in the question. So I would do whatever gun they were going to have after this hour was up. And if we could live fire, we would do some live fire as well. But mostly it would be, how do I make the gun work? Like, what do all the controls do? We're going to take a bigger chunk of time than we want out of our hour, because they got to know what the doohickeys and thingamabobs do. And then we're going to talk about using the sights. Like, how do we line them up to get hits? That's all we're going to talk about. Then the last question was like a two-parter. Same question, but now if you have 5 minutes or less emergency time, it'll be, what do the levers and buttons do? And put the big white golf ball on the bad guy. Like 5 minutes. There'll be no live firing if you're at the range. By the time you'll use 4 minutes because explaining what the things on the gun do. Like, what goes in this big hole, what comes out this little hole, what comes out this other hole, what the clickies do. Because some of them guns if you don't make the clickies do the right clicky thing, it won't do the big loud noise, So 5 minutes. There, it might be a pistol without a safety. I can strike a fire guy. I can't point at the bad guy and press the trigger. When it's all done, put it in your pocket, run away. All right, so that covered all the questions. All right, so I know it's not quite an hour. Shot 2024. We'll title that Google Keep note thing. And can we change colors? No shit. Just learning something new about Google Keep. Add labels, add drawings, show checkboxes. I can put checkboxes in my Google Keep beside the things I want to go check. And then I can check them off when I've done it. This is awesome. All right. So with that, maybe there'll be one if I skip going to Brazilian Steakhouse. There'll be a live chat next week. If I do the Brazilian Steakhouse, there won't be a live chat next week. I'll just post up telling folks, like in the community on YouTube, like where you can make posts, or Facebook, just in Facebook. Like, sorry guys, we're fucking not doing it. I'm eating steak. But yep. Otherwise, if I don't do it there, I'll see you the week after. And by the time you see that, we'll also have the top 5 items from SHOT Show, maybe the worst 5 items from SHOT Show. That video will be out. Obviously not next Wednesday during SHOT Show if we do a live chat, but the following one, I'll have it done. Maybe I'm taking my laptop this time. I did not take it last year. And I can even edit it on the plane. So when I land, I'm ready to poof. Or get to the airport in St. Louis, I think, in my layover. Hotspot my phone. You never know. Probably not that much, but I'll get it out for you. And so with that, I'll either see you in a week or I'll see you in 2. And you all have a wonderful time and take it easy.